Hello children, this video is for class 11 of the subject English Literature, and today we are going to see Act 3 Scene 2 of The Tempest. In Act 3 Scene 1, we saw the conversation between Ferdinand and Miranda where they both propose each other, and ultimately Ferdinand he agrees to marry Miranda and Prospero was very happy about their decision. Now, in this particular scene, means Act 3, Scene 1, we are going to see the conversation between these three people, means Caliban, Stefano and Trinculo. Now, as you can see, Caliban, Trinculo and Stefano continue to drink and wander about the island. Stefano now refers to Caliban as servant monster and repeatedly orders him to drink. Caliban seems happy to obey. Now, you must have remembered that in the scene 2, Caliban, he was thinking that he just thought that Stefano is the god and he is going to definitely kill Prospero. So considering him god, Caliban was praying Stefano. So this scene is the continuation of that Act 2 scene. Now here these three people are talking, and Trinculo and Stefano, they think that this Caliban is a servant monster because he is going to serve these two people, because Caliban agreed. He said that in this particular island, whatever are the essentials or the sources, the spring, the fruits, the forest, all the good resources, Caliban is going to show Stefano and Trinculo. And he said that I will kiss your feet. I'll be always your servant. Caliban also referred Stefano as the person from moon. You remember when I said that Prospero and Miranda, they taught Caliban the languages? They both have taught Caliban the names of the stars, the sun, the moon. And they also said the story that there's a person in the moon. So, Caliban right now he thinks that Stefano is that particular person who has come from the moon. So, that is why he considered Stefano as his god. And Stefano also agreed. He said, yes, I am the person from the moon. So, like this way, Caliban started praying Stefano and thinks that he is the person, he is the god. So, he agrees that to be their servant. Now we'll come to the next slide. Here you can see the men begin to quarrel, mostly in jest, in their drunkenness. Obviously, Caliban was totally drunk. Stefano and Trinculo were also drunk. So now these three people are quarreling among each other. Now Stefano has now assumed the title of Lord of the Island, and he promises to hang Trinculo if Trinculo should mock his servant monster. Now what was happening here was that these three people, when they were moving ahead, Trinculo was keep on teasing Caliban, and Caliban was really getting irritated. Trinculo was keep on mocking Caliban, which Caliban didn't like. So Caliban was again and again telling Stefano that just tell this fellow, means to Trinculo to keep his mouth shut because he is disturbing, because Caliban want to plot, or you can say Caliban wanted to discuss the, you can say the murder, the plan of Prospero with Stefano. But Trinculo was interfering again and again. So Stefano was telling Trinculo to be quiet. Now, Ariel, invisible, enters just as Caliban is telling the men that he is subject to a Traian, a sorcerer, that by his cunning hath cheated me of the island. Now he is talking about Prospero. Now Caliban and Stefano cannot see Ariel and thinks that Trinculo said this. Now Stefano threatens Trinculo and tells him not to interrupt Caliban anymore. Trinculo protests that he said nothing. Now since Ariel is invisible, so he is invisible, but he is keep on disturbing and he is interrupting whenever Caliban wants to speak. He listens to their conversation, to Caliban's and Stefano's conversation, and cause trouble to them by impersonating Trincuolo's voice. It's in Trincuolo voice. Ariel, he keeps on speaking in the middle. Whenever Caliban wants to say something, Ariel, he used to shout. He tells he is a liar. Okay, like this in the middle during their conversation, Ariel keeps on interrupting. With this, even Caliban got irritated, and Stefano also, because Stefano he was thinking that Trincuolo is the person who is disturbing in the middle. But in reality, it was Ariel who was disturbing. Now, drunkenly, they continue talking, and Caliban tells them of his desire to get revenge against Prospero. Now, here, Caliban starts plotting against Prospero because he thinks that Stefano is the god. So, Stefano will definitely kill Prospero. So, he is planning with Stefano how to kill Prospero. Now, Ariel continues to interrupt now and then with the words, "Thou liest," means you liar. The misunderstanding created by Ariels ultimately result in Stefano hitting Trincuolo. Now, since this Ariel was keep on disturbing Caliban and Stefano, so Stefano thought that this is Trincuolo who is disturbing. He went and slapped Trincuolo. Okay, Stefano went and slapped Trincuolo and said that you will not utter a single word anymore. Trincuolo, he said that I did not say anything, but nobody believed because Ariel was invisible. So everybody thought that it was Trincuolo who was disturbing, and Ariel had a fun in this. This was a comic situation again, okay, which was created by Shakespeare in this particular Tempest. You know, this comical situation, it is the second time. The first comic was the very first introduction when these three people met. Stefano, Caliban and Trincuolo, when they met, that was a comic situation, and this is the second when Stefano slaps Trincuolo because of a misunderstanding. Now, after hitting Trincuolo, he said, I did not say anything, but still they were, and this was the second situation. Now, they were all plotting against Prospero, okay? Now, after this, see, now, children, just make a note. There are two things. Don't get confused in this, okay? Now, I'll just tell you, while Ariel looks on Caliban plots against Prospero, the key Caliban tells his friend is to take Prospero's magic book. Once they have done this, they can kill Prospero. Now, there are two things. One is, what was the plan of Caliban to kill Prospero? The second is, how did Caliban plan to kill, or you can say, what was the method of Caliban to kill Prospero? So the first is, what was his plan? The plan will be, with Stefano, he wanted to kill Prospero, is his plan. Now, how did he plotted with Stefano? The second question, it is, he said that to kill Prospero, we have to take his magic books. Because Caliban knows very well that when Prospero's magic books are not with him, then he is a normal human being. He cannot do any magic without his books. So this was his plotting. This way he planned to kill Prospero. So don't get confused in the plan and the plotting links. What and how? What was his plan? It was to kill Prospero along with Stefano. To kill Prospero, to plan to kill Prospero with Stefano. And then second, how did he plan? It was, before killing Prospero, he has to take away his magic book. So don't get confused in these two questions. These two are totally separate questions. Now, once they have done this, they can definitely kill Prospero. So, like this, Caliban tells Stefano that this is the way we have to go accordingly. Then we will be very easily able to kill. Now, there is a question. What was the offer given by Caliban to Stefano so that he will kill Prospero? Now, what was the offer? Caliban tells, if Prospero is dead, then Stefano will become king of the island and Miranda will be his queen. So this was the offer. Now we know very well that nobody will do any work until they get some reward. So this was the reward which Caliban showed to Stefano, that once when you will kill Prospero, you will be the king of this beautiful island. This was one. And then second was that Miranda, the daughter of Prospero, is very beautiful and she will be a queen. And so she will definitely, you can marry her. So this was the two things which Caliban said, that when you kill Prospero, you will get. That was the reason why Stefano at the last he agreed, and then he said, okay, we will do this. Means we will plan to kill Prospero. Now Trinculo, when he also heard about this particular plan, then he said that Trinculo tells Stefano that he thinks that this plan is a good idea, and now Stefano apologized for previous quarrel, because Trinculo he also accepted that this is a good plan. So Stefano said sorry because he has slapped Trinculo. So he said that I'm sorry for that quarrel, but you are going to be my, courtier. If I be the king, then you will be definitely the next person. So like this, all these three people again were very happy that they are going to be the king, and Stefano is going to get the queen. So he was very happy about the plan. Now Ariel, he was listening all this plan. Now Ariel, since he knows everything, now Ariel plays a tune on his flute and tabor drum. Stefano and Trinculo wonder at this noise, but Caliban tells them it is nothing to fear. So when they were walking through the forest, Caliban, Stefano and Trinculo, when they were walking through the forest, they heard this music. Of course, this music was played by Ariel and his spirits. So when these people heard this music, they were a bit astonished about that. But Caliban, he said that this particular island is full of music, and you will listen all these types of sounds everywhere and all the time. So don't worry about this particular music. Like this, Caliban, he tells to Stefano and Trinculo. Stefano enjoys the thought of possessing this island kingdom, where he thinks that I shall have the music for nothing. Then the men decide to follow the music and afterward to kill Prospero. So when Caliban, he said that not to worry about this particular music, this island is full of music. So Stefano, he was not worrying about it, because he was just thinking, he was in his dreamland thinking to be the king of the island. And of course, he was enjoying all those things. He was enjoying the pleasure to be the king, and queen, and the Miranda serving as his queen. So right now, Stefano was in some other world. It was all the magic of Ariel which influenced these three people to be in that mental state, except Caliban, because Caliban was very well aware that what is happening and who is doing all those things. Okay. Now, in the next, let us see the importance of this particular scene. This scene assumes importance because it reveals the plot hatched by the three drunkard rogues to kill Prospero. They plan to kill Prospero in his afternoon nap. The scene when Ariel invisibly creates misunderstanding is making the situation humorous. Shakespeare has introduced this facetious scene to provide comic relief to the audience. It also reveals the evil nature of Caliban in particular. Children, here, when they have planned to kill Prospero in his afternoon nap, I just want to add a point over here. Caliban says that during the afternoon, Prospero always take a short sleep. That is what is called a nap. Okay. So Caliban says that in the afternoons, Prospero always take a short sleep. At that particular time is the best time to kill him. So before killing, we have to take his magic books away and then we will kill. So this was his particular plan. Now after this, definitely I hope this explanation will be helpful to you. Now go through your book and your paraphrase also, because there you get the explanation line by line. Any doubts, you can always contact. So thank you.